We are under entrepreneurship today. So we're the subreddit entrepreneurship, and let's see, CVAST12345 says app idea. I've been thinking about an app that helps manage screen time, finances, schedule, etc. Like an all-in-one for productivity. It would also give you a dopamine score based on how much you were on the phone and what you were using. It's just an early idea because I wanted an app like this but couldn't find it. Would you use something like this? What do you think? So that's kind of cool. I mean, they have, I mean, all of these things exist individually.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a bunch of them that have a few of these things put together. But I like the idea of the dopamine score. That's kind of cool.
Yes.
Because what that does is, so I don't know about Android, but on Apple, every week, I think it's on Sunday night, I will get an alert that tells me what my screen time was for the weekend. If it was up or down. Android, the same thing, right?
What apps I used for how long
exactly,
they were open.
Right. And that's actually very telling because you realize, oh my God, I spent 8 hours, 10 hours, some people 40 hours this week on the phone. Think about that, right? When they say you spend, 3 years of your life in the bathroom, right? How much is on the phone?
My brother-in-law got that report the one time. I was sitting with him Sunday afternoon. He gets it. And I'm like, hey, pull it up. Let me see it. And it was 112 hours.
Come on.
So in his defense.
There's no defense for that.
There is a defense. So like when he goes to the office and he sits at work, his phone is plugged in next to him and he's playing podcasts on YouTube.
And do they count that?
That counts.
Oh, I thought it had to be interactive.
No, because as long as the screen is on.
Oh, I thought it was interactivity.
Nope. So he's running his screen on YouTube for 8 to 10 hours a day.
Well, yeah, okay.
And listening to YouTube.
Well, sure. That's 70 hours right there if you're doing it 7 days a week.
But when I first saw that number, I was like, dude. I'm like, dude. And then when he explained to me, well, it's, he'll play 9 podcasts in a day, but he's not looking at his screen. He's actually just listening.
Right.
So
what's that, 140, 120, 168 hours in a week?
Yeah.
Right? He's 112 of them on the phone.
That's a lot.
Basically, it's sleep and phone.
He comes over sometimes and he's sitting on my couch, right? And he'll be holding his phone on Instagram, flipping through videos. And I'm like, I looked over the one day and the same video had been playing for I don't know how long. And I'm like, that's how videos get 1 million views. Someone falls asleep with their phone and it replays the video
over and over. No, that's funny.
But
all right. So anyway, here. So anyway, the dopamine score I think is really cool because I like those statistics because I will look at it sometimes and be like, yeah, I'm spending a little too much time on this phone, and I will try my best the next week to try to do less and less because there's a whole world out there outside of the phone. I don't know if you knew that or not. They just opened it. The whole world.
What?
The world is now open outside of your phones.
All of it?
Yeah, all of it. That's crazy. I know it's a weird thing. So don't get too don't get too concerned. But there's a world out there. And
are there other people as well?
There are other people, and you can talk to them face to face, not through text, not through video chat, but actually a personal interaction. I know it's a hard concept to grasp, but it is real. It is.
So speaking of screen time and stuff, and apps and dopamine, have you ever heard of the movie Screenagers?
No, but it sounds incredible.
They just updated it.
Okay.
It's literally a documentary about kids and screen time and how they use their phones.
That's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah.
And my wife just went and saw the updated version. I had seen the previous one. Like the previous one is from 2016, maybe something like that. And I saw it back then and I was like, wow, like I didn't realize how bad it was and how much it affects people. And apparently over the last 9 years, it's gotten even worse.
Okay.
Now kids are literally using the phone as an excuse not to have to acknowledge people around them.
Get out.
Nope. They are
purposely.
Wow. They purposely focus on their phone so that they don't have to acknowledge people. Like if they're uncomfortable or they said, I can just focus on my phone and then nobody cares.
Wow.
There's all these things. So like when he says dopamine score, is it dopamine score from being away from the phone or is it dopamine score like a warning? right? Is it like you,
I assumed it would be like a warning, like you're on the phone too much.
that's what I
which
assumed.
I would like.
But like the way he says it, it could be a dopamine score for doing the right things on your phone.
Mm.
This is where an app like this would be interesting. Is
Yeah,
like,
it would be.
what are you going to measure?
Yeah.
Like, are you giving me?
I thought it was just time based.
But that's not a dopamine
Well, no,
score.
it would have to be interactivity based, right? It's because your interactions where the dopamine hits. As you're scrolling, the dopamine gets higher and higher and higher as you just keep scrolling through things. But when you stop and you're reading, it actually lowers. And when you're just listening to a podcast or something, it gets even lower. So it's the more you're actually doing something that's why games like Candy Crush go insane.
Those
because
quick hits.
Every time you do something, your brain's like, ying, ying, ying. It's like a little electrical pulses into your mind, and it stimulates, and it's exciting, and it's powerful, and you can't stop hitting the buttons.
Yeah. So like for apps like this, I think apps like this would be brilliant to load on things like kids' phones too.
Yeah.
Right. If you could make something like this on a kid's phone where I can manage their screen time, manage their finances, manage their Google Pay or Apple Pay, whatever it is.
Or even, and in addition to that, limit the dopamine level, right?
Yes.
So seriously, think about this. So if the kid's being too interactive on the phone, it cuts them off for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that will lower the levels.
Or 30 minutes.
Or whatever you need. Yeah, whatever you want to set.
Yeah. It's because it's
That's
like
a cool idea.
Because it's like an addiction. Right?
It is. Oh no, it's not like an addiction.
Yeah, so it is an addiction. Yeah. So like
we have to be able to freely admit that it's an addiction.
Yeah. If you could set it so that it does that, like if for a kid, because I watch my brother-in-law's daughter, and I'm like, you've been on the phone since you got here 6.5 hours ago. Like you have literally not put it down. You went and sat in that corner because there's a charging cord so you could keep it charged and be on the phone. Like other than saying hi when you walked in, you've been on that phone. And even like we have a rule, like at the dinner table, no phones.
Right.
If we're playing board games and stuff, no phones.
Right.
And we had to do that because the first few times we'd be playing board games and we'd be playing with her, and every 2 minutes.
Yep. And it's not like she's doing it because
like,
she doesn't want to pay attention to you. It is an addiction. It really is. It is like I feel it myself. I didn't grow up with a phone. You didn't grow up with a phone, right? But even us, we would feel weird without our phones nearby.
Yeah, my wife yells.
It is an extension of ourselves.
My wife yells at me because sometimes I'll go to the driving range or something and I'll leave my phone at home.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Why didn't you take your phone?" And I'm like, I was going to the driving range. Like,
well, is that because she can't get a hold of you if she needs like an emergency or something? Because I can understand that.
How did you survive?
Yeah, but we're not in that day and age anymore.
I know.
We're in a day and age of instant communication.
I don't want this to control my life, and I don't want to be available 24/7. Right? Like
even for your family? I don't know. That one I'm okay with.
No,
my wife needs to get a hold of me. She should be able to get a hold of me.
Yeah, but like if it's a true emergency, yeah. But if it's really a true emergency,
call 911.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
What am I gonna do?
Exactly. Right. Like
it's an old Stephen Wright joke.
I'm 20 minutes away. Like what do you want me to do? If it's that urgent, if you need to rush to the hospital, you're not gonna wait 20 minutes for me to, and then leave me a note. And guess what's gonna happen when I come home and see the note? I'm gonna come to the hospital. Right.
Stephen Wright had a joke about that years ago. He said, I was filling out a job application. It said who to contact in case of emergency. I wrote doctor. What the hell's my mother going to do?
Right. But yeah. So like, but it's weird. So same thing. I got asked that same question, right? So like, I don't take our living area is on the ground floor. Our bedroom is on the second floor, right? Or first floor, however you guys. And I don't take my phone, like when it's bedtime for me, my phone stays downstairs and I go up.
Yep.
And I don't check it until after I'm done making coffee and giving the girls breakfast in the morning, right? So from whenever I go upstairs till the time my girls have breakfast, I don't check the phone. And my wife said the same thing, right? She's like, but what if your family has an emergency somewhere and needs to get a hold of you? I'm like, they're in Iceland. Like,
what am I going to do right now?
It makes no difference.
10, 20 minutes does not change anything. Yeah.
Even a few hours, right? Like if they tell me, oh, something happened to your grandmother at 3:00 in the morning,
right?
It's not like I can jump in a car and drive to an airport and catch a flight to Iceland at 8 a.m. because there's only one flight to Iceland at an airport nearby and it's late at night, right?
Yeah.
So, and it was part of that came into this whole like dopamine and addiction type thing is I found myself that I would go to bed and I would pull up my phone and then I'd start playing Candy Crush and then I'd scroll Facebook and Instagram and then I'd look at the time and
It's 3 a.m.
not even like it would
No,
be
but that late, but
midnight
still.
or 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, I just lost an hour of sleep, which I'm now going to feel in the morning for what?
Right.
I did nothing productive. I gained nothing from this hour, but because the phone knew how to keep the dopamine, and then I wouldn't sleep as well. Like it was noticeable.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, dopamine score should be a dopamine limiter.
Yeah.
And
It should be. And I think you could build that. I think you could figure that out algorithmically. You could figure out how to
at
score
least
it.
a guess.
Yeah,
right?
it doesn't
Like,
have to be exact.
No.
It's completely time based. And I like that a lot. I think that's a pretty cool idea. So
we're saying we like this idea.
I like the idea with the dopamine score. Everything else is being done. It's already there, right? But if you can have an app that's behind the scenes, non-intrusive, right, that manages your dopamine score or just whatever. I mean, I know they have them for kids where the screen will time out after a certain period.
Yeah, but
of time.
that's just time based,
right? That's just time based. I mean, you can actually based on the interactivity that a person has, which you can do. I think
correct.
That would be great.
Because one of the things that like I'll notice, like my daughter will ask, "Hey, can I go on my laptop?" And I'm like, "Sure, you can go on your laptop." Well, there's a huge difference whether she's on her laptop watching YouTube videos.
Oh, huge.
Or listening to audiobooks.
Oh, I think you're going the other way.
No,
with
she listens to audiobooks on there. And I'm like, I'm okay with her laying there for an hour and a half listening to audiobooks. I'm not okay with an hour and a half of YouTube videos.
Right.
Right. So like, but there are different dopamine levels. There are different dopamine scores. So because there's no.
Yeah. Audio has always been different than video.
Yeah.
Whether it was TV and the music players or whatever.
Correct. And it's because like with audio
Music
video,
players,
it's like
CD players,
it's like the casinos, right?
Oh, no, it's not like that.
No, but it is because it's like
They're
the
the worst.
flickering screens and the lights and the music and the ding.
And the high sound.
It
Ding,
is,
ding, ding, ding,
it is
ding. Yeah.
all designed to keep your dopamine at peak levels at all the time so that you don't want to leave.
Along with the enriched oxygen that they pump in there to keep you awake. You ever notice you can't fall asleep at the casino? Good luck. Go try falling asleep in a casino.
Okay.
They pump enriched oxygen into the.
I'm gonna go do that tonight. I'm gonna go take a nap at Parks.
you're not going to be able to. You're going to be wide awake the whole time. But it is the strangest thing because you'll go down there, and my buddies and I have tested this years ago. You go down there, you're fine during the day, and you go into the casino, and you are wide awake. And I'm sure it has a lot to do with your dopamine levels and everything going around you. But I mean, you are wide awake, and then the moment you leave, it's like a sugar crash.
But and I mean, I think they designed that for maximum dopamine.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's like if you would go and eat 2 pounds of candy, right? You're going to be like wired. And then the moment that you take it away, it's like, whoa, crash.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, all right. So
I like
CVAST, cool.
The idea. It depends on execution and exactly how you're going to do it. But I think there's a market. I think your target audience here is parents that want to use it for their kids and people that are trying to, like, almost like an addiction thing, right? Like people that know they spend too much time on their phone and want something to help them wean themselves off of using it as much.
Right. Yeah.
I think that is.
It will definitely help. I think especially if your child sees, my dopamine levels are getting high, which is different than if they see a timer. My 30 minutes are up, right?
Yes.
My levels are getting high. I got to do something about that because now it's a health issue.
Yes.
And kids are very much in tune with their health when you talk to them about it. So that could be a really cool way to get them to.
I like it.
To wean them off of lots of screen time.
Remember that if you have questions or comments, please drop them below and we will prioritize actually answering the questions on these videos.